don't know. Do we have the story? Apparently, there's a report that Donald Trump is known, and actually it's in the context of essentially just a continuation. We don't even talk about this, of course, that we're still at war in Afghanistan. And another thing for certain denizens of the dumb left who are like, he might be more of an isolationist than Hillary Clinton. Or a certain candidate for president whose husband, I'm sure at this time of year, is being like, honey, don't you want to start to get ready for 2020? Being like, I don't want to choose between a lethal threat and a more lethal and a lethal threat. I wish I could do a Jill Stein impression. But there was the idea that somehow Trump might pull back from military engagement, which was...
I don't like dumb wars.
Yeah, sure. That was, I mean, some of the things that people wrote, like nothing anybody said about Hillary Clinton being a warmonger should they be embarrassed about or regret, because it's all true. But anything that people said speculating, including some very smart people, about Donald Trump, like that he was going to be in an Oval Office meeting and stare and be like, no, General.
I don't think we need the mother of all bombs.
We don't need the mother of all bombs. We need that money at home because there's an opioid epidemic. Like, if you even entertain that as like the 10th of a possibility, I'm going to try to think of this in a more mature way to say. You should seriously self-assess your analytic abilities. That's the diplomatic way that I could put this.
I mean, when you heard him say we were going to take the oil, we were going to...
Yeah, I would think
Bomb
that
the shit out of
when
him.
you're looking at Donald Trump and reflecting on him as a person and who controls the entire apparatus of the Republican Party, and that he has no institutional knowledge, no sophistication, and is a narcissistic moron, clearly much more curious about his own self-advancement than anything else, what part of the message you think is going to stick when he's in office? The, I like dumb wars, or the, let's bomb the shit out of them and take their oil message.
If Trump was president during the Cuban Missile Crisis, none of us would be here right now.
Exactly. But there would be somebody like during like while the bomb was hitting, they'd be like, well, you know, Kennedy campaigned on the missile gap, so I don't vote in fear. There are up to 1,000 more troops that could be headed to Afghanistan this spring. And this happens in the context where apparently Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is a infinitely more, intelligent, self-made, and competent version of Trump, but very much in the Trump mode of far-right, neo-populist, neo-fascist, bigot leader, apparently told Trump in a White House meeting something to the effect of, no country has done so much more for another country and gotten so little in return, which is an interesting way of talking about what the United States has done for Afghanistan, quote unquote. Killed a lot of people there, supported some very effective heroin trafficking rings there, and that really is what this is at this point. Afghanistan is in many ways a giant proxy for a heroin route trafficking war. But what Trump has apparently done is taken to impersonating Modi to make the point, and he apparently does an Indian accent and goes, no country has done so much more for another and gotten so little in return. So let's do like a beaky bar, so much more for another country. You know what Modi said? And you should see the guy. He's just like, you have not done more for the country and done too much in return. Well, the way it reported is it seems like a friendly impression. Like it's like that's my buddy Modi.
Just razzing him.
That's, look at a poo with the foreign policy instincts over there. Yeah, we'll still send the troops.
Bar, Trump, Sarkar. Abiki Bar, Trump, Sarkar.
And again, please. This was Trump's India ad that ran a couple weeks before he defeated Hillary Clinton. Let that all sink in, everybody.
Abiki Bar, Trump, Sarkar.
I used to listen to that every morning when I woke up to get myself pumped for the day.
That's my ringtone.
That would be such a good ringtone.
For the place I order Indian food from.
That's a great... That's the type of joke that might make Trump actually laugh. That's it. Oh my God. Dog. Hillary Clinton. Same thing. He said a Biki Bar's Indian on his ringtone. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Masala grill bar.
A Biki Bar. Chana Sakba.
And this comes just as like a little nugget within the Washington Post headline that we're going to be sending up 2,000 more troops to Afghanistan this spring.
That is where we are. I really want to say, like, the only reason if people who made some type of dumb argument, like, had kind of just, like, there's plenty of people who've sort of checked out from it and been like, look, I had every reason for not liking Hillary Clinton and resisting corporate Democrats is all, besides the conspiracy theories, they're basically all 100% right. And some people have been like, yes, I get the distinction now, right? So I'm not, unfortunately, we called it right. Unfortunately, I called it right. I wish I was wrong. But there are people out there still doing these fucking arguments and just listening to, like, one piece on ICE policies alone, not making you shut up, let alone the foreign policy stuff. Because that actually really was an area where people legitimately were writing, like, think pieces on, like, this is going to be an isolationist foreign policy. I mean, it's just, could you get more structurally or even just personally delusional about what's obviously going to happen with a person? Ugh.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos